All right, I guess we're live.
We are live.
And it's Thursday night. It's 7 o'clock ish. Ish.
Ish.
Ish. And it's time for Thursday Night Live at the Gun Shop.
It is.
Oh, I hope everybody's having a good week. We have a packed show for you tonight, especially when we get down to the cool gun segment. I think you guys will really enjoy that. Been an interesting week. There's lots and lots and lots of stuff going on. So we're going to talk about some of that. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with in the suppressor and the NFA world.
We're going to move cameras a little bit just because
some
I'm
of those,
not happy.
Really common questions. Seems like everybody's got. We're going to get into that. And hopefully we're going to have a lot of people online because I want to take a little survey of people tonight.
Ricky Hazelrig said, "Good evening."
Hey, Ricky. I hope you're doing well. With that thought, I hope Jason is too.
There's Tim Easton.
Tim?
Said, "Good evening."
So we're getting a few folks in.
Mm-hmm. Got about 12 right now.
Okay.
14.
Cool. So, we'll start off with this, okay? There was a decision. I'm not quite clear on exactly what this is going to mean. As many of you know, you've heard us talk about GOA, TFA, and some folks around here filed a lawsuit against Bill Lee and Jonathan Scamati on the intent to go armed clause of the Tennessee statute. It went in front of a three-judge panel and got a unanimous ruling that wasn't unconstitutional both federally and by the state constitution. Well, of course, what did our great, wonderful Republican leadership do? They jumped up and appealed it.
Of course.
Because they said, you don't need those rights. It's a freaking Jim Crow law. It was made to punish freed blacks. But they insist on wanting to keep this. So they've appealed it, and they went and they asked for a stay. One judge refused it, another judge granted it, and now we've had if I'm not mistaken, a circuit court, one of the appellate courts just refused their stay. So this thing's going back and forth. Basically, the whole thing is if we do not have constitutional carry, okay? We have permitless carry with lots and lots of restrictions. And a lot of restrictions that can get people in a lot of trouble. So while the politicians, when you try to talk to them about this, they want to counter with, oh, we already have constitutional carry. No, we do not. We do not. We have permitless carry in certain places for certain people that meet certain requirements. It's not constitutional carry. If this goes into effect, if this stay, because when you get a stay, it goes into effect, the outcome of this would be basically Tennessee would be a true constitutional carry state. It would get rid of some old laws that need to be gone. Because basically right now, the way this law reads, if you got a stick in your hand and you're in your front yard, your yard, you could still be arrested for intent to go armed if they want to charge you with intent of being armed with a stick. That is on the books.
It is. We've had a few people pop in David Eno said, "Hey, hey
Hey,
everyone."
Dave.
Jake said, "You drinking Boehner?"
Jake.
Hedrick.
Ah,
Uh,
we'll talk about that in a minute.
Ricky Hasbrook said, "Yes, sir. Hope all is well your way." Matthias, hello.
Hello, hello.
And I think that's got him. Wanted to get caught up.
So this lawsuit is really important because we've had supermajority in Tennessee as Republicans for 17 years, but we can't get this changed because it's about a power thing. As long as it's in there, they can manipulate things, and you really don't have your rights.
Hello, Marco from Ecuador.
Marco, good to have you. So this lawsuit is a really big deal. And it originated right here in Gibson County. The original was held right up here at the courthouse in Trenton. 10 miles from where we're sitting?
Yeah.
So for those of us in the state of Tennessee, this is a big deal. And don't let anybody tell you it's not, because as long as this sits on the books the way it's written,
It could be used.
politicians and police chiefs and police people have an out. They have a way they can punish or dictate to you.
That's correct.
So it's a big deal. And I should say, our good friend Monty Fritz, who happens to be running for governor, is fully behind getting rid of this. He has argued and argued and argued in the House trying to get rid of this legislatively, so it didn't have to be done in court.
Thank you, Matthias.
But anyway, we're gonna get off of that. I was just trying to put some information out there while I was waiting on people to come on in.
Matthias said he bought a pistol in Brazil, Taurus G3 Toro.
Cool. You putting a red dot on it?
He also sent us 20 stars.
Very much appreciated.
Yes.
So guys, if you want to see more on that, you can look it up on GOA's their page at X. You can go to the website. They're putting a lot of stuff out there. They're putting actual briefs out, just like they're going into the court. They're putting the opinions out in full. So you can go read it for yourself. I would really encourage you to keep an eye on GOA's page on X, or their website, or the stuff they're doing on YouTube, with their podcasts. There's lots of things happening. Lots of pieces are moving around the board. And it's a good way to keep up.
Jordan Taylor said the new Pete and Willie ad coming is fire. Willie and his dang chickens.
That's going to be fun.
I can't wait to hear this one.
Hey, Jordan, like I told you, the other place, yeah, they didn't get it right.
Nope.
Very disappointing. So, anyway, guys, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We've kind of touched there on the intent to go armed thing that's going on here, and how important it is for us to be back in places like GOA and TFA. If you're not a member, you should be. If you are a member, man, send them $20, $30. Do something, help out.
Got Dusty Vickers in the house.
Dusty?
Noel.
No, it's great to have you.
Nathan Smith. Chris Lawler.
Chris, Nathan. Good to have y'all. No, if your wife feels up to it at some point, you guys should come over to the States. Come down here to Tennessee, and we'll treat you so many ways you got to like one of them. We actually like Irish people here.
Yes.
Quite a bit, actually.
Yes.
What?
Jordan, yes it is. He asked, is that Boehner blend?
Okay, let's get to this.
Oh. Hey, John.
we had a lot of people asking us for a whole bean coffee that they could grind themselves. And
Jordan says he can't wait to see Chris. Him and Chris just.
who?
Jordan said he can't wait to see Chris.
Oh.
They pick on each other.
So we were thinking about it, and it was suggested to us
Uh huh.
that maybe we should have a coffee called Beaner Blend and put Chris right on the front cover.
President Boehner.
Um, you can't make this up, guys. The whole idea and everything for this come from
Chris's mom.
Chris's mom, and his dad was involved, and
Yes.
Chris, and so the whole thing behind this is Mexican folks,
It's their idea.
and they think it's hilarious, and I think it's hilarious. And Chris was having a big time,
I had fun designing the label.
getting his poncho and his hat on, and of course he's holding an actual '73 Winchester and an actual 1903 Colt Peacemaker.
Uh huh.
So Beaner Blend is our whole bean coffee. For those
What are
that
you
like to
drinking,
grind their
Tom?
own, I'm actually drinking Beaner Blend
You are.
at the moment.
Yes.
So, should I read the back?
You can if you want to.
All right, I'm gonna read this. Probably gonna piss somebody off, but oh well. You know, we write little funny stuff on the back of all these, so this has been approved by.
Now, Gwen did correct you on the
Well, the one thing, yeah, but
It was
so
funny.
on the back here. Do you want to run like a marathon sprinter? Do you want to jump higher than any Olympic athlete? Do you want to outswim the fish? If so, then Beaner Blend is the coffee for you. Whole beaner coffee straight out of Africa. You can grind as you want. This blend endows you with strength, cunning, speed, and stamina. These all come standard with Beaner Blend. Benefits of this badass Beaner coffee: run fast, jump high, amazing stamina, swim like a fish, hide like a chameleon, lay brick, build houses, all while singing Mexican love songs. The gate to Beaner life. So anyway, if you got a sense of humor, you'll enjoy it. If not, you'll get pissed off. So whatever.
And Jordan says you've always got a Dr. Pepper nearby. Always.
Always. But it is a really good coffee.
It is.
It's an amazing coffee. And I really wanted Chris to stay tonight and introduce this
I
himself.
know.
But I think he was helping his cousin move.
He had Boehner things to do. Better Boehner things.
Helping
I'm
your
trying to
cousin
be funny.
move's not a Beaner thing.
Better Boehner things.
Okay. So anyway,
Jordan said, did you just kiss Chris?
No.
Tammy Marie said, that's hilarious. Grant Singleton said he needs 11 teen. Oh,
So
goodness.
hopefully, you guys can get in on this, have as much fun with it as we've had doing it.
Noel said, in coffee here, milk and sugar is usually added. A lot of people do that here. He
Yep.
said coffee first came to Ireland in the 1600s.
That would make sense. Because you'd had your traders coming across, and
Jordan said, man, y'all got me cracked up.
well, I mean, we're supposed to be here to have fun.
Yes.
Damn, heater keeps blowing. I'm gonna start getting undressed here. So okay, we've addressed Beaner Blend.
Yes.
Now to another question we get a lot of: NFA wait times. Right now, guys, we're seeing 4 to 9 days.
And that could change tomorrow. It could be 10 days. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just what
We got right now.
we're seeing coming in right now.
Yep.
I think Stephanie said we've got 100 and
102 that have been submitted.
so
I need about 15 of y'all to get your tails in here and certify.
in the first 15 days of the year, we've submitted 102 cans.
Yes. And I do have several appointments spread over the next week, so
You said you got what, 15?
15. But I
That-
think I've got about half of those that have made appointments. I can't get in touch with the others.
Okay. So we've got a pretty fair inventory right now of suppressors. I can tell you if that the market's getting tight, getting really tight. It's not like there's not suppressors out there to buy. It's just not the ones you want to buy.
True.
So
I saw today we've got 2 shipments coming in.
sure, I mean, I've got 2, 3, 4 orders outstanding.
I know 2 of the ones that came in yesterday left.
Today.
Yeah, they were
We got some
assigned today.
got some CMMGs in.
2 of those left today.
Well,
Well, assigned today.
were they both
The 30.
both 30s? So now we've got 5.56. So CMG
We've got the 5.56 and the 36.
0K. The 0.556K.
Yes.
0.556K. I'll get it out in a minute. And we've got that also in the 36 caliber. I'll tell you, that's a lot of can for the money.
It is.
It's simple, it's straightforward, it's strong. They're not trying to be fancy, they're not trying to be,
And the 2 fellas that picked them up, that's exactly what they were looking for.
you know, it's just good, solid engineering. And truth be told, those cans would serve most of us plenty adequately. And they're not expensive.
Nope.
So that leads me, that gets me into a point that I was going to get into tonight. And as, I just mentioned that the market's getting tight. When I start looking on the wholesale side and so forth, I see more out of stock, more, you can back order this 12 weeks, 14 weeks, 9 weeks, delivery time, whatever. Lots and lots and lots of that. You start scrolling, you go, just go to Silencer Stock and start scrolling. It's page after page after page after page of
No.
out of stock.
Yep. And it's a lot of the stuff that we normally would carry.
You're going to see, as you shop, there's going to be these new companies that are popping in, and there's going to be stuff hanging there. And it's because everybody's still going like this with it. Not sure about that. Never heard of them because they're brand damn new. And you just don't know. And while that can be a good thing, it can also be a bad thing. When you're machining these things, there's not that much room for error.
It's the Warthog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Chris, I got a few left.
And it's got to be done right. Or else, you get baffle strikes, you tear up a can, tear up a gun, possibly get somebody hurt, whatever. And there's some of these that, it's just, honest to God, the jury is way out on. And you got a lot of people that are trying to get in, and they're trying to get into that sub 200 market, 200 and down market.
That's scary.
It's scary on a lot of reasons. One, there is actually now polymer suppressors.
That's terrifying.
The baffles, the inside, the guts are freaking polymer.
Don't stuff melt when it gets hot.
Now, granted, those are 22 cans, but
Still.
I don't want no damn polymer can.
Mm-mm.
It's bad enough we got to have polymer pistols.
You're welcome.
So, I guess what I'm saying now, everybody just got a 3D printer that can print metal and apparently print polymer. Is going to be trying to make a suppressor. And they're going to be trying to get in that lower end market. And here's what's really scary about it to me. The people that are really shopping that market are people that really don't know.
That's true.
They probably never thought about buying a suppressor. It's intriguing to them now that the $200 tax is gone. But they really don't want to spend a lot of money, don't understand what they're spending money for. So you're going to have the uninformed customer that's shopping in this, what I'm going to call, it's going to be for a long time, a really iffy market. So watch out for the folks around you. Be leery. If you've got friends that are trying to get into this, that have never been into it or don't understand it or whatever, and you just need some help talking to them and get them to understand, bring them by. You don't have to buy anything, but we'll try to educate them enough that they don't hurt yourself.
Grant, I need to order more of that coffee. We're completely out of the after action.
Really?
Yeah, we don't have any. That's what I was just looking at. I will put that on my list and get it taken care of.
So, kind of like we talked about, I guess it was last week, matching suppressors to need and understanding what you're buying with the suppressor. What it's actually rated for, what it'll actually do, what it won't do. We're gonna have a lot of these new companies out there. They're putting a brand new product out. They're putting out something they've never dealt with, they've never done before. They're just trying to get in what they see as this lucrative market. They're going to try to get in on the low. Well, a lot of them will try to get in on the low end, or some trying to get to the high end.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen some of that. And they're all going to be making their claims. Theirs is so much better because. And, you got now probably a couple hundred companies out there, and theirs is so much better because.
Yeah.
Well, you can't have 200 number ones.
No, you can't.
Now, you can do something 200 different ways and still get it right. As far as configuring baffles and stacks and some of the 3D printing stuff that they're doing, where they're creating elaborate geometry inside the can.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's going to be trying to tell you why theirs is the best.
Nick Blankenship wants to know if we have any 22 ARC Ruger Americans in yet.
I got 223 in today. I have told every supplier that we have I need ARCs and I need Creedmoors. But we did get these to just get these, and we'll be going to work on these tomorrow. Ain't that purty?
It is.
The blank that came in was the Douglas Premium Air Gauge, blah-de-blah-de-blah, cut rifle. Very high-end, very expensive, great blank. Of course, turned and done Credit Precision.
Mm-hmm.
Does all our barrels, and these are 22 Creed. So we will be...
If you need a custom 22 Creed.
We will be starting that tomorrow. building a couple of those. So again, new silencers, guys, just be leery and don't believe everything you hear on the internet. Yes, I know we're on the internet right now, but verify, trust but verify.
Yes.
In a lot of these cases, don't trust and verify. Polymer suppressors. Anybody got a comment to that? I mean, polymer freaking suppressors.
No.
I'm sure everybody's as baffled with that one as I am.
Baffled.
You called it. You called it. So, be vigilant. Pay attention. If you're thinking about getting something, I highly, highly suggest if you like come by here where we stock cans, and we've got them in here where you can put your hands on them and touch them. If you can get what you want sitting on somebody's shelf, it's going to be a whole lot better than trying to order it.
Yes.
I promise. That a lot, we get a lot of, that's where a lot of our confusion comes from. And I guess while I'm on this, I'll go ahead and address this matter. Trust versus individual. Okay? So many people that I hear say, well, I've always been told I have to have a trust. No, you don't. Okay? You do not have to have a trust. You can buy it as an individual. What a trust does is it creates a new legal entity. It creates a paper person that holds these items, whatever you put in the trust, in trust. That's what I call a trust, of course. And the people that are members of the trust can use those products. And that's great. But the majority of the problems we have with paperwork come from people doing trust. And guys, this ain't said to be mean. I'm just telling you like it is. It's usually because the customer doesn't follow up and do what they're supposed to do. We all hear what we want to hear a lot of times, and there are things that when you're doing a trust, you're going to have to do.
There was a person that called me yesterday with trust questions.
Yeah.
His buddy, his friend, added him to his trust.
Yep.
And he was asking, he's like, well, who owns that? I'm like, the trust
Owns it.
will own that. If you bought a suppressor and put it in that trust,
The trust owns
the trust
it.
owns it. It's like, okay. I said, and I don't mean to be negative. I said, but what if something happens down the line? You're not the person that's in.
You got the responsible party and also have the beneficiary. So you can put a beneficiary in a trust.
Yes. I said, what if you and this person down the road don't?
G-Hall.
Yeah. Then you've got to worry about all that. He's like, so would it be better if I did my own trust? I'm like, that's kind of up to you. I'm like, if it's family, I would guess I would answer that different. Friends, I don't know.
But no, because when you create a trust, you create a new living entity. That's what owns the cans. Now, you of course have responsible parties. You can have beneficiary of their trust. All that stuff. That's for the lawyers.
Yep.
Which I am not. But I would say this: if you're going to do a trust, you've got to think it out. if you're going to have you and let's say you got a couple of older children or whatever, and you're going to put all these people in the trust, you have to understand it's not like the old days, but it's not like pre-Obama. Pre-Obama, if you had a trust and you had cans in that trust and you wanted to put your son on there, you could put him on there. He could legally possess the cans. Everything's good, no big deal. Excuse me. Post-Obama, they have to submit the fingerprints. They have to do everything that the responsible party or the trust holder does. So if you're doing a trust and you got 3 people on there and one of those people aren't completing what they need to complete or doing what they need to do, or they let something lapse, it shuts the whole trust down.
Yep.
Till that person does what they're supposed to do.
Yep. Say so. If you got 4 people on there, one of them doesn't do their photo, update their photo, it don't matter.
Yep. So it's like anything else in life. The more people you get involved, the more complicated it gets. And people say, well, what do I do then? And how do I handle it in the case of my death? If you got a will, put it in the will. Make model and serial number and specifically who you want that to go to. And it'll accomplish it. Because even with the trust, there's somebody going to have to come up. There's somebody going to have to file a Form 5 even with the trust.
That's correct.
File a Form 5 if it's in a will. The one advantage you get when it's in a trust is if you're in a trust with people that are reliable and you get all your stuff done and you handle your business, it's great. Because now everything that's in that trust, anybody in there can possess.
Okay.
Which usually that works out really well for families that hunt together, shoot together,
Yes.
all have the same common interest. It works out really well. But everybody's got to get their stuff done. So with the trust, to me, the biggest holdback from recommending the trust is the fact that we just see so many people that have poor follow-up skill.
Or the other person doesn't care.
That would be
Yeah.
somebody not having, or they don't care, they don't want to be on it. It's not
Right.
important to them.
John Ketchum, I will do that. If I don't do it tonight, please send me a message and I will get that for you tomorrow. The price on the little 22, the goat, Adam. Mike DeLong said evening, Tom.
Hey, then Mike.
I can look real quick.
Where as an individual, you're the one that has to be in possession of the can. Oh, that's not saying if you're standing on the range or you're hunting with your kids or whatever, and you're all out there. As long as you're present, you're legal. But you can't stay at home and your kid be 2 counties over hunting with the suppressor and him. Then you got an issue. If you run into anybody that cares.
Yes.
So hopefully I didn't make that any more complicated than it already is. See,
Yes, we do have Canix.
yes. Did you go get that price?
Yes. John, it was good seeing you too. And it is $4.70.
Let me ask you this, guys. This is a little survey. How many have I got? Very many people?
20-ish.
Okay, so not really, but maybe the people will chime in. How many of you folks would have interest if we were stocking SBRs, short barrel rifles, short barrel shotguns, or AOWs? You know, would there be any interest in that? And with AOWs, we could do a lot of cool things.
Yes. Jason Blanton said, adding someone is easy enough. How hard is it to remove someone from a trust? There's a piece of paper in your trust that allows you to remove people. So just as easy as it is to,
It's actually easier.
yes, than adding them.
It's actually easier. It's easier to get rid of them than it is to get them.
John Miller said, yes, he would be interested.
Okay. Just kind of throw that down in the comments so we can watch it, because, you know, there's some stuff like with the AOWs, which means any other weapon, that could be pretty cool if people have an interest.
Yes.
Some cool stuff that people might enjoy. So throw that, you know, throw your thoughts in the comments.
Matt Booth's interested.
Cool. So next thing before we get into the cool guns segment.
Tim Easton.
Cool. Guys, seems like, you know, again, in our country, violence is spreading across the country, and, you know, different people got different ideas, but I think it's just pretty well known. It's paid, people are being paid to go around and start trouble. Thankfully, we are not seeing a lot of it here, but it is spreading and it is popping up in places where you don't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
So stay vigilant. That's all I'm saying. Stay vigilant. You know, watch your back. Pay attention. Some of these people are just damn crazy.
I don't know if you heard, but the officer that was hit by the good,
Yeah.
he had internal bleeding.
Well, you know, he had tried to stop. He'd gotten a few months before. He had been drugged by a driver.
Mm-hmm.
So
Looks like there's a lot of interest in that, by the way.
cool. Cool. I'm glad to hear that. Got some ideas I'd like to build, but I don't, you know, if nobody's interested, I'm not going to bother. But if we got interest, I'll build some of them and see if people want them.
They're definitely interested in SBRs.
So, I'll say, stay vigilant. I'm not really as concerned about a mass thing breaking out around here in our area.
John Miller said, did they get a 1099? I don't think so.
You know, I don't know.
They might.
I'm not as much worried about a big group breaking out. It's like they tried to have a demonstration in Jackson Saturday. I understand it didn't go so well. I don't know. As I am about one crazy person. You know, but one individual. And thinking along that, stay vigilant, always carry your gun. But it's wintertime. So let's talk about wintertime for a minute. What's wintertime mean? As a general rule, wintertime means people wear thicker clothes, wear coats. There's more layers of stuff that, frankly, you got to shoot through. And some conventional hollow points, we know, tend to clog up in clothing so that when they hit, they don't perform like they should. So be also be vigilant about your carry ammunition in the winter. You know, stuff that'll punch through a T-shirt in the summer and still open just fine. You know, may have problems with a heavy parka and the clothes underneath it, and it clogged the hollow point up and it not open.
That Carhartt jacket.
But there's all kinds of weird things that can happen, and you know, as much as we want to get bullets to open, we need bullets to open. We need them to give penetration. We need them to cause trauma. If somebody's pushed us to that point. And in the winter, frankly, it takes a little bit more thinking about it. Big mouth hollow points are not always a great idea. I do like stuff. It just happened to be sitting there. I honestly didn't stage it. I do like stuff like the Critical Duty for wintertime.
It's got the little red thing there in the center.
Yeah, it's going to help it keep from clogging up. It's also designed to act, I think, as an agitator to get the bullet working. But you know, there was lots and lots and lots and lots of money dumped into developing this. And you know, I think it's expensive. Damn, it's expensive. But those are things we need to be thinking about. And when you know, wintertime carry ammo.
Jason Blanton said so. 9mm summer carry, 10mm winter carry.
Yeah. You know, if you look, you might see me carry a 9 through the summer and so forth. But when the jackets start coming out, it's either the 10 or the 45.
Yep.
That goes back for cold weather carry. So yeah, I agree with you 100%, Jason. All right, with that said, now let's get to the cool gun segment. And tonight we're going to do Warriors Handguns of War. How many times can you say that fast?
Warriors Handguns and War?
Of War.
Of War.
Warriors Handguns of War.
Warriors Handguns of War.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
So, walked around the store thinking about what am I going to do tonight for the cool gun segment. And I was like, really, I have no earthly idea.
So, Tom, what did you decide to do?
My name is not John.
Tom. I didn't say John. I may have said John. I was looking at Johnny's name on the screen. If I did, I apologize.
My name is not John, and I am not a John. So I walked around the store, and I walked by that one cabinet, and this gun popped out at me. And when I seen it laying there, it gave me an idea. So I continued my walk, and as I walked, I picked things up. And I've got 6 handguns laying here that, in their own way, have been revolutionary. They've all been carried in times of war. They've all influenced cartridge design, gun design, the way people thought about making mechanics work. So, we're going to start out with probably one of the least known. And that's this gun here.
What you got there?
This is a French Maz, a model in 1935. Of course, they were made by the French, for the French, and they were never fired and only dropped once. But this was a handgun that really went into use around 35. Chambered a cartridge called the 32 French Long. like most things French, it wasn't much pumpkin. But it was kind of a cool design. Um, you could block the hammer. You could unblock the hammer.
Okay.
So, well, you block the hammer, so if they didn't really know how to make a decocker, so they
when
put this pivot block up here, so if you're letting the hammer down, it slips off your thumb, it won't shoot.
Okay.
Very slim pistol. It actually feels good in your hand. And if you can stand the price of ammunition, they don't shoot bad. Low recoil, which of course you know it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Frenchie can't handle much.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, the 1935 Maz, 32 French long. Went in about 1935, so of course it saw service through World War II. Now you got to figure the war in Europe started what in 37. It had been going for a while when we got in. And French was one of the first places that had issues. There's one. Now we'll go over here and go behind the Iron Curtain. And look at the Tokarev. Crude, very crude gun. Chambered in 7.62 by 25. A lot of these were made in Romania. There were some made in Russia. But guys, this was Billy Bob badass before Billy Bob was born. I'm telling you. This 7.62 by 25 cartridge is rough on things. Level 3A body armor, it punched through the front and the back.
Ouch.
With full metal jacket bullet.
Ouch.
South Africa, there was a lot of them in South Africa, and boy, they hated them because they just take, there'd be a gunfight, and they'd have the vest on, and the vest wasn't doing them no good. But as crude as these guns were, they're still working today. And believe it or not, they're still fun to shoot, and it's still fun to see what these old cartridges will punch through. Just single action design, very rudimentary sights. And you wouldn't believe it, but I mean, it's got a lot of take up there, but when you hit it, not a bad trigger. Very, very loud. This thing was above 357 SIG performance. I can tell you when 357 SIG was being designed and thought about, not only is the 357 Magnum cartridge looked at, but so was this, because it was one of the early, very early, successful bottleneck pistol cartridges. So that gun, the gun and the cartridge and the thinking behind it have influenced lots of shooters and lots of cartridge design and gun design and body armor design over the years. And then we'll go back here and this is actually a Walther P1. It's a very close kin to the Walther P38, which was, of course, was a wartime gun. It has a steel frame. This has an aluminum frame. With some of these, I think, were used by German police. But this is what replaced the Luger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they saw service side by side, But if you read the history books, they'll tell you that the P-38 is what replaced the German Luger. You know, one of the early guns to have the decocking system, to be double action. You know, we get into a lot of this. We talked about it the other night when we were saying bye to Walther. You know, and then we're talking about the Walther PP, PPK, PPKS, and Walther discontinuing them. And we talked about that they very early on that those guns were some of the very first to be both double action and come with the decocking safety. And of course, this gun was also the P-38 was also developed by Walther, and you see that carry on. And you see it carry on in a way that was so successful, it's still being used by a lot of companies today, unmodified. The system is still being used the same. So it had the double action capability, where most people were running, most everybody else was running single action. Had the decock and the safety capability. Of course, they were chambered for 9mm. And how many different ways has this gun affected, has this design affected things? I mean, you see Beretta was looking heavily at this when they designed the 92, because, you know, Walther was one of the first ones using the fixed barrel system. And getting it right. Just very influential pistol. Very cool pistol, very cool design. And now we'll jump back over here. You know, during World War II, of course, Belgium fell pretty quickly. And that, Belgium, of course, is where FN is. Of course, that's where your Brownings were made. All too, everything for your Belgian Brownings, they were all made by FN there in Belgium. So Browning had this little gun called the P-35, or the high power. So what happened when Belgium fell? The Krauts started being able to get P-35s. 13 round, single action, 9mm. It's actually the gun that John Browning was working on. He died while he was designing this gun, and somebody else had to finish it. But still, this is probably one of the most influential pistols in the world, in the fact that people have tried to get this grip angle, tried to get a gun this thin. The high power is something off to itself. There's nothing that quite feels like a high power. There's nothing that quite shoots like a high power. And, you know, you saw these in use a lot like 1911, long after people thought they had been retired. So, and you've probably seen them on TV and everywhere else. And, you know, this stayed in the Browning catalog up until 2000, maybe. I think they made the last ones in 16 or 17, but they stayed in the catalog up until just a few years ago. So everybody, we've looked at those four, and everybody knows, you know, there's two that have been glaringly ignored, and they haven't showed up. And what's wrong with me? And so let's go. There it is.
They can barely. There you go.
The German Luger. Old toggle top. Gun they started that carried through World War One and into World War Two. And then you had the P-38 come along, so they served alongside each other. The problem with the Luger, well, if I have to tell you why it's iconic, then we'll be here all night. But the problem with the Luger as a weapon for the forces is they're so complicated and they're a complicated system and they're hard to make. It just takes time. It takes precision. You know, you shouldn't just go in there and run them out. You know, you got this whole toggle system thing going on here. You've got so many things happening with this gun. However,
Looks really cool.
it is one of the coolest guns ever made.
That'd make a nice birthday gift.
It did set the standard for so long. And of course, everybody, at least from our generation and many others, always heard of the German Luger, and there it is.
Looks very cool.
Very cool pistol. But now we get to the king of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
All of these pistols have been impactful in their own way. And like I said, everything from cartridge design to gun design to body armor design to ergonomics, you know, trying to make the gun feel good in the hand. But none of them have done what Granddaddy did.
What you got
That-
there?
1911 A1. Mr. Browning's, I would say, crowning achievement. While other people might say that it was some of the machine guns or the A5 or the 300, some other guns he's designed.
You're a 1911 guy.
But officially served U.S. military for 85 years
So obviously they're doing something
as their
right.
standard sidearm. Even once in 85 when the Beretta took over, the gun stayed in service. Special operations liked them. So many places, so many different units and everything were still using them.
Mm-hmm.
And they claim that more, they're still there, guys. There's still people out there that are using these. Just because they work. Single action, 45 caliber, 7+1 or 8+1 capacity. That is the stuff legends are made from. And that has been carried in every conflict since World War I.
Goodness.
It has made its appearance. It's made its appearance as the king of the 50-yard bullseye matches. It made its appearance shooting IDPA. It's done it all. And it's still out there going strong. So, you tell me what you guys think about them. You may not. The way I picked them up, it's not necessarily the way I rank them, but it's pretty close. But they're all guns that have impacted even a lot of times the way we live today. Because maybe the tactical advantage turned battles or did this or did that, or the things we learned from it kept soldiers alive and allowed battles to be won that might not have otherwise. I think a lot of people don't realize how much, when you look at some of these early ones, the guns, the design of the gun, what they could make the cartridges do, and all those things really affected the thinking afterwards, immediately thereafter, and even up into today. And you could probably go most anywhere in the world, and if you look around a little bit, you can find you a Browning High Power in 1911. And probably a Glock 17 or Beretta 92 at this point. But so anyway, guys, some of the older stuff I thought very influential. Guns warriors carried through many wars that have showed up and showed out. And they're still here for us. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight's show. We've enjoyed doing it for you. Thank you for listening. For all the folks that's going to be tuning in later, we appreciate you. And, if you want to jump in on the SBR comments or the AOW or the SBS or any of that, please drop them in the comments, and Stephanie will read them to me because I'm too stupid to know how to get to them.
You are not.
Well, never mind. I lost my thought. So that's going to wrap it for this week. As always, God bless America, and God bless you.